Our first topic is science. You don't have to do anything right now at this moment, so put everything down and just listen to what I have to say. Good, so our new topic in science is the topic of forces, okay? One of your spelling words as well. Remember the curly K instead of this. Forces. Good. Now, the first thing we have to ask ourselves, what is a force? A force is anything, it's anything that can make an object start, stop, or change direction. Okay, so when I say anything, I don't mean an object. This pen is not a force. My hands themselves are not a force. But the force that I put on this pen, for example, now I'm pulling it up towards the camera, that is the force. So a force is anything that can make an object start, stop, or change direction. If you think of a ball lying in the corner of the room. Will that ball move by itself? Will it start rolling? Will it go up into the air? No, it will not. It needs a force to help it to move. So, for example, when you kick the ball, you are basically pushing it with your foot, right? So anything that is made up of energy, like humans, we are made up of energy, or animals, or the wind. Sorry, I think my cat is doing something behind me here. I don't know. Okay, so all things that have energy are made up of energy. They are let's call them, they are machines of force. You are a force machine, basically. Good. Now let's talk about the different types of forces that we get. We get the push, when you push something. We get pull, when you pull something. Twist. Twist is when you take something, and I want to show you actually with my hands. Twist is when you take, let me take this, is when you take anything and move it in opposite directions. Do you see that my hands are moving oppositely? That is twist. Then we have stretch, which is basically when you pull something apart, stretch, and squash. When you squash something, that means you press it together. Good. So those are our 5 main forces. Now, other ones that I want you to know of are bend. To bend something means you pull it like this. So if this is my object, to bend it means to have it curve at the top like that. So bend is one of them, or is another one. And that's it. Okay, yeah. Push, pull, twist, stretch, squash, and bend. These are the main forces that you need to think of. So, in class we talked about forces and the strength. The stronger the force, the more the object will move. Let's imagine 3 kids per team, and they are taking part in a rope pulling contest. Let's think about the forces involved. Here's the rope that they are pulling. Oopsie, okay. There's the rope that they are pulling. Let's think about the forces involved. Let's first think about their feet. What are they doing with their feet? Are they pushing away? on the ground? Are they pulling their feet? Are they twisting their feet, stretching their feet, squashing their feet, or bending their feet? They are pushing. They push into the ground with lots of strength in order to ground so that this action can be more successful. So what are they doing with their hands? They are pulling. So this goes this way and this goes this way. With the more force that they press forward and the more force that they press back, the further the rope is going to pull. If these guys pull like this, with their hands like this, are they going to win? Absolutely not. If these guys pull like this, all of them together at the same time, and they all lean back in order to use their entire body's weight to help pull them, are they going to win? Yes. The more force you put on an object, the further you pull it away. Okay, the more it moves. So that tells us more force means further movement. Okay, another thing that we were talking about is a ball. If I kick it to my friend and he kicks it back to me, what have we done? We have changed this ball's direction because it first went there, and then with force, kick is basically a push with the with the foot. We have sent it back to the other one, which means with force we have changed direction. That is a part of the definition as well. Force helps us to change direction. Now, here are two questions. One, what did we say? Here. So, first question that I have for you, Yozike, at home, is what forces have you used today? Now, if you want, you can send me a voice note of telling me what forces you have used, but I'm just going to tell you. For example, this morning when I woke up, I opened my duvet over my legs. So I bent my covers. When I braided my hair this morning, I hope you can see my hair. When I braided my hair this morning, I was twisting my hair. I pulled up my pants. I pushed the door open. Stretch. Okay, let me show you with stretch. I used this for the kids, but for example, this morning when I tied my hair, I stretched my, what is this called? I always want to say a scrunchie, but it's not a scrunchie. My hair band. Well, I'm just going to say elastic. Even though it's not elastic, I stretched the elastic to fasten my hair. Hair fastener? What is it called in English? It's a rakkie in Afrikaans, but what is it in English? A hair tie? A hair tie. Is that what you call it? A hair tie? Okay, I stretched my hair tie. I twisted this as well when I tied my hair, because when you do that, you do that. So that is twisting it. Do you see how I'm twisting it here? As soon as those two cross each other, that means I'm twisting it. Let's think, what did I squash this morning? Oh, I squashed butter. I squashed butter onto my toast. There we go. I have used all of these forces today. Which have you used? Good. So that is the basis of forces that you need to know. I want you to go think about this question. Which forces have you used today? And then in the meantime, while you are thinking about that, I am going to go ahead and get my science activity packet ready. Cool. Get your science activity packet in front of you. Write your name at the top for me, please. And let's take a look at what's inside. So if we page 1 over, you will see it says, bend it, stretch it, squash it. Observations. Some things you can squash, some things you can bend, some things you can stretch, and some things you can twist. When you let them go, some things go back to their original shape. For example, this. I'm stretching it, but, okay, I just let it go, and now it's just a plain elastic again. So when I stretch it, it doesn't stay this long forever. It goes back to its original shape. Now, here is the science activity. I'm going to help you with the first one. I've written down exactly which ones I helped the kids in class with so that it's fair for you at home. Good. A sponge. Yozeke. Can you bend a sponge? If I take the sponge like this, hold on. Here is my sponge. It's a little wet because I just washed dishes, so I'm hoping it's not going to drip on my paper. But here's my sponge. I'm so afraid it's going to drip now. If I bend it, if I bend my sponge, does it go back to its original shape or does it stay like this? It goes back to its original shape. So they say you need to color all of the things that you can bend, which means a sponge, can I bend it? Yes. So I'm coloring my sponge. Next one. Hold on, I need to find a paper that I can, why not? Plastic comb. Can I bend a plastic comb or will it snap in half? It will snap in half. So no, we are not coloring a plastic comb. It cannot bend. A paper ball. Here we go. Can a paper ball bend? Well, yes, technically it can. It doesn't go back to its original form, but it can bend if it has to. So I would color paper ball. If you don't agree with me, you don't have to color it. A tomato. Can I bend a tomato or will I squish the whole thing? My cat wants to play with this. Okay, tomato. Can I bend a tomato or will it break apart? It will break apart. I cannot bend a tomato. A rubber ball. Depends on how soft it is, but overall I don't think so. A plastic ruler. I think that would snap in half. A rubber band. Can I bend a rubber band? Well, yes. Look at me bending it and it's still fine. So rubber band, you can color because it can be bent. A newspaper. Well, that one is rolled up. I think so, because if I bend that, it can just go straight back to its original shape. Wooden spoon. No, I would snap it. Good. Next one. Place a check mark by the things that you can squash. Now, when we're talking about squash, we mean, can I squash it? Can I smush it together? And it won't break and it goes back to its original shape. So a sponge, can I squash it and it'll go back to its original shape? Yes, so we're making a tick. A plastic comb, if I had to squash a plastic comb into this small little block, will it be splinters of a plastic cone, or when I leave it, will it go back to being a plastic comb? I cannot squash a plastic comb. A paper ball, yes, that's how it got that way in the first place. I want you to go think of the other ones. Are these the only? Yes, these are the only ones that I helped with. So, rubber ball, tomato, plastic ruler, rubber band, newspaper and wooden spoon. Go think to yourself, can I squash these items? If you can squash them and they go back to their original shape, you can make a tick next to them. If you cannot, just leave it open. You can pause and do that now. Good, I'm going to carry on. Place a cross by the things that you can stretch, but that will then go back to the shape that they were before. Can I stretch a sponge? It depends on which sponge it is, but sure, I think so. Sponge is malleable. Plastic comb, can I stretch it, or will it break? Maybe one of the teeth break off or something like that. A paper ball, can I stretch it? Yes, it will basically just unfold into a normal piece of paper. A rubber ball, can I stretch it? Sure. Again, it depends on how soft the rubber ball is, but yeah, I think you can stretch it, I guess, and squash it actually. I think so. Tomato, can I stretch a tomato without it breaking? A plastic ruler, can I stretch a plastic ruler? A rubber band, can I stretch a rubber band? Yes, I can. Newspaper, can I stretch a newspaper? I think it would tear in the middle, if I'm being very honest with you. And then a wooden spoon, can I stretch a wooden spoon? Alright, if you're finished with this page, let's move on to the next one. Good, the next one says manipulating materials. What are different ways that we can manipulate materials? Manipulate just means to change the shape of the material. Try bending, twisting, stretching, and squashing the materials below and tick the ones that can be done. You don't need these, but if you have these, you can use them to answer. I helped with the first two, and the rest the kids had to do on their own, so that's exactly what I'm going to do with you as well. Play-Doh is basically clay, Yozike. So let's think about it. Can I bend clay? Yes, I can. Clay is made to be molded into something else. Can I twist clay? Yes, I can. Can I stretch clay apart? It's like press stick. Can you pull press stick like this? Yes, I can. Can I squash Play-Doh? Yes, I can. Foil, those silver things mommy uses when she uses the oven or something. Can I bend foil paper? Yes, I can. Can I twist it? Yes, I can. Can I stretch it? No. As soon as you try and stretch foil, you can stretch it to a point, but then it's going to break. Okay, that's how you break the foil. Can I squash foil into a little ball? Yes, I can. Good. The rest of the ones that you need to go tick or cross are paddle pop sticks. These are basically ice cream sticks, okay? Basically ice cream sticks. Elastic bands, cotton wool, cling wrap, paper, fabric, plastic fork, or spoon. You are at an advantage because if you can find these things in your home, you can actually go try it with these materials. So complete the rest of this worksheet, and then you will hear from, and then we are going to answer some questions about Namibia as a revision in preparation for Friday's quiz.